Good morning, one and all. On behalf of Dayananda Education Societies, Dayananda Science College, Latur, a very hearty welcome to the NAAC PPT members. At the outset, may I request respected Principal Dr. J.S. Dalgar sir to welcome Honorable Chairperson Professor R.M. Mishra sir by offering a bouquet as a token of love and respect. Thank you, sir. I request Vice Principal and IQAC Coordinator Dr. S.S. Bellari sir to welcome Honorable Member Coordinator Professor Sujit Kumar Ghosh with a bouquet as a token of welcome. I would like to call upon NAAC Coordinator Dr. R.D. Sobukhe sir to welcome Honorable Member Dr. Murphy Alexander sir by offering a bouquet.
Sir.
I request Dr. L.V. Thakre, Head Department of Physics, to welcome Honorable Observer Professor V.K. Suraj sir with a bouquet.
All these are choices.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Presentation. So once again, I welcome all the esteemed, distinguished NAAC team members. So let me begin my presentation. So our Dayananda Education Society is established in 1961, and in 1962 the affiliation of Marathwada University at that time we have received to start the basic courses, basically in the stream of arts, science and commerce. So in the beginning it was three all combined college, and later on in 1967 all the three faculties has been bifurcated, and independent Dayananda Science, Commerce and Dayananda Arts College has been established. So the motto is a basic objective, mission and goals of our institution. As during that period, many of the students they go to take higher education at Pune and at Hyderabad. So there was no such higher education in the beginning. So to impart higher education, or particularly for the rural areas of the student, and accordingly the business community of our Latur region gathered together to establish the institution. And this is one of our milestone. Honorable Pranab Mukherjee, the president at that time, he visited our institution during the Golden Jubilee celebration of the institution, and he also motivated, inspired and addressed the whole gathering. So let us come about our another milestones. As in the beginning, our institution is attached to the university. It is bifurcated in Marathwada University now, and from 1995 it is attached, affiliated with this SRT Union. College received UGC's Tree of World status in 1969, then Dalit Mitra Award in 2003-04 by the Government of Maharashtra. First cycle NAAC accreditation process B++ grade, And later on, Ministry is recognized and sponsored college during the 5 years plan with a grant of 67 lakhs. Then college also received the state government award of Shaw Pule Ambedkar Award. It's a social welfare award with 52 lakh cash prize. NAAC accreditation second process A grade with 3.14 CGPA. Then best college award from our parent university, which was 25,000 cash amount. UGC CP status with 1.5 crore in the first phase, and which is completed just in 2020-21. Best Principal Award in 2016. And RUSA grant, it is one of the grant in the component 9. 2 crore. Ours is the only college, private aided college in our university. We have received this grant to develop the infrastructure and academic facilities. Again in 1920, consolation prize of our college magazine, then O grade in the external audit by our parent university with 91.5% scoring. And recently we also received a Microsoft Showcase Innovative College in the field of digital technology, and this recognition by Microsoft India. Clean and Green Campus Award by our local municipal corporation. One district, one green championship award. This is also received from the central government, MTN CRE. In 2021, again from the state government of Maharashtra under the agency Maharashtra Energy Development Agency, 16th state level award for excellence in energy conservation and management. So my presentation is compiled about the institution heritage, about the vision, mission goals, then academics, and administrative practices and future plans, etc. So the mission of our institute, Ano Bhadra Kratu Yantu Vishwata, that is let the noble thoughts be come from all the direction of the world to our all the students, faculty, and all the stakeholders. So accordingly, the mission, values, goals, and objectives, the statements are defined, and accordingly our work is going on. Our institute is also named. It is termed as the Latur pattern of education, so called in the state of Maharashtra. As ours is the pioneering institute to develop that meritorious pattern in the state of Maharashtra. So from many corners of the Maharashtra, the student comes to take education there. Regarding the academic programs, so as stated in the SSR UG2, PG 6, but now in this academic year we started 2 PG programs. These are the 2 new initiatives, and so it is now 8, and 1 UG program in BSc Biotechnology. So general BSc, BSc Computer Science. These are the 2 UG programs in SSR which are mentioned. And again here, these 2 UG PG programs, MSc Mathematics and MSc Physics, they have been started after post accreditation, after second cycle. So previously there are 4 and it became 6. Similarly, the value-added courses introduced 28 certificate value-added courses, along with the NPTEL different certificate courses. These are the new initiatives. Again, here the 4 research centers are there, and these 3 research centers of red line, red color. So these are the new initiatives after post accreditation. So regarding the human resources, this is about the management, ex-principal, and myself is working during last 11 years. And this is about the faculties, 78 field faculties, professor, then associate professor, assistant professor, 27 they are the permanent faculty, 35 they are working on unaided courses, 16 on CHB, that is on proper basis, and the total field 168 faculties including teaching and non-teaching staff. These are the non-teaching staff, and the total sanctioned is 220, but 168 filled. And here also now we are going to fill maybe in the month of April 9 permanent faculty, as we have received the sanction approval from the state government. The process of the interview will be in the month of April. So like that, and again supporting staff and total faculty including supporting staff sanctioned 244 out of 192 filled, and one inspired faculty, Department of Science and Technology's inspired faculty is working during last 7 years, and all the financial assistant work for to carry the research fellowship is being received from Department of Science and Technology. So regarding the faculty's profile, here PhD are MPhil 8, ongoing PhD 16, and net certificate qualified 40, 18 research guide, 1 international visiting faculty, completed a literature orientation course 108, male 45, 33 female, and about this experience, board of studies faculty members are also there 9. So they are working in different colleges of the university, also in the state governments, different committees. These are the achievements of our faculties during the last 5 years. Particularly here, the chairperson and keynote speaker in abroad conferences. So 5 faculties they are represented like that. And again, research guide enhanced 12 in this cycle. And myself is working as been shortlisted as a NAAC assessor, and I have completed the training program. So this is about the student strength. So as per during the last 5 years, the courses, few courses have been added. The student strength increased, intake capacity, and this is filling capacity. Like that. Here the male-female ratio. So always this red line. This is for the female candidates, always higher as compared to male. Nearly about sometimes it is 60%, sometimes it is 40% male, sometimes 50 like that. Again, the transparency in the admission process, it is as per the rules and regulations of state government of Maharashtra, and as per the guidelines received from our university. Total it is being done according to merit list. Diversity in the student. So different caste students they are limited, and also we have from neighborhood states, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, few students there used to take the higher education. About the dropout ratio, in the beginning first year, the dropout ratio is higher, as some of the students they enrolled with higher percentage at the BSc level. After getting their admission in engineering and medical college, they used to leave college. Regarding the curriculum aspect, its design, planning and development, as per the university, this is the all BOS faculty academic council is there. Our faculty members they involved as a member in BOS. And this is the structuring of the designing of the curriculum. So again, myself also out of university, I am the member of the curriculum designing. And for the curriculum designing, the college used to organize several workshops in different subjects. So all the faculties from our university, they are called in the workshop. Our faculties also joined, and they used to participate and use necessary suggestions for the any advancement in the curriculum or in the design process. And these are all workshops, some of the glimpses here I have shown. So in each organized workshop, respective subject teacher participate and use these suggestions in curriculum design. Curriculum of our 28 value-added courses, it has been designed the faculties of our college itself. Regarding the institution ensures effective curriculum delivery through a well-planned and documentation process. Always there is a well-planning to deliver all the aspects of the curriculum. Along with that, whatever the connecting workshop, training programs, they have been regularly organized and the planning is done. Then academic flexibility in the curriculum is there, as our BSc course particularly. There are streams of physics, chemistry, mathematics, electronics, computer science, industry chemistry, then in life sciences, botany, zoology, chemistry, microbiology. So the student can have to go the life sciences. Again, if the student is taking admission for the physical sciences, he can opt physics, chemistry, electronics, he can opt physics, chemistry, mathematics, he can opt like that. So flexibility is there, flexibility in the experiment is always the skill enhancement projects. There are a number of projects they are given and the students are asked to select the project. So flexibility in the skill enhancement projects, experiment, and again in the physical and life sciences, similarly in value-added courses. Efforts are taken to integrate cross-cutting issues along with the curriculum. So all our sales committees, they used to organize the connected cross-cutting issues. The institution integrates cross-cutting issues relevant to the professional ethics, gender, human values, environment, and sustainability into the curriculum. So, number of programs being organized accordingly. Similarly, curriculum enrichment activities being carried along with the regular curriculum. All the quiz competition, paper version, all these here I have shown. Students also sensitize, not only students but also faculties, of the different values, human rights, awareness of discipline, social ethics, and constitutional values, and so on. Again, the skill development programs are run by our institutes as it is not particularly related to the subject. Different workshop, training programs being organized. Again, in the value-added courses, some skill development part has been incorporated. Some of the skill development programs, they are again organized in the collaborative agencies, particularly the collaborative agency, for example, Securities and Exchange Board of India, the skills of financial awareness, another Maharashtra Center for Entrepreneurship Development Program. Such type of skills, they are regularly organized in the form of 3 days workshop, but basically for the girl student to develop the entrepreneurship concept. Then in the value-added courses, some concept they are being used. Blue Revolution has been again it is also collaborative activities with the agency. The scientific skill development, the student-centric methods such as experimental learning, participatory learning, and problem-solving methodologies are used, enriching learning experiences. So this is the Financial Securities and Exchange Board of India, regularly for the student, for the faculties. So career advancement with the MIT, that is World Peace University, like that. Nourishing critical thinking, creativity, and scientific temperament. Number of events being organized, particularly the science exhibition, mega events have regularly been organized. Then the student motivated and encouraged to present their projects, research work under international conferences and innovation cell. The institution reviews its teaching learning process and accordingly the structure and methodologies of operations and learning outcomes at periodic intervals to IQAC and always records the incremental improvement in various activities. So again, the planning is also accordingly the process of the IQAC along with the regular practices of the lecturing, blended teaching learning process, particularly the expert lecture, guest faculties, seminars, workshop, they are being, again the EDSCL, that is a learning resource available in our library. So technology also, we have numerous technological aspects we use in the teaching learning process. Then innovative teaching approaches. So in smart boards, every classroom having a smart board, nearly about 22 classroom is incorporated with smart board, 100 Mbps interline internet connectivity. Then table projectors are also provided, well-equipped AC seminar halls, and etc. All the necessary ICT equipment facilities in the laboratory also. So our is the first institution in online education in the Maharashtra, and it has been again said by our Honorable Education Minister in his live speech. And we follow this pattern by other institutions in Maharashtra. Again, the teaching learning process separates slow learner and fast learner. We have the plan, and we take particularly lecture workshop for the advanced learners in collaboration with Indian Academy of Sciences. For slow learners, the departmental faculties they call the mentor-mentees are there. They interact with the student, and for the integrity student or some student who score more, all these parameters it is handled by the department. So for this all, several seminars, workshop, induction program, conferences, training programs, skill development program, fresher courses by different departments, association of our college during last 5 years have been organized several. So these are the number of I have shown in the table events organized, workshop, training programs, conferences, so numerous. So again, coming towards the evaluation process, evaluation in teaching students, the feedback they are taken regularly, its analysis is done, and accordingly the suggestions have been adopted by the feedback committee along with the principal and the stakeholders. Not only the feedback of the student, but also the different stakeholders' feedback we use to collect. Evaluation process and the reforms. No doubt the annual examination they are conducted as per the guidelines by the parent university. And here our unit test and oral examination, assignment, seminar project, student class, laboratory performance, remedial examinations is taken, particularly those students joined, for example, NSS camp, and they are missing as per our schedule. Then for those NSS, NCC sports students, we used to conduct remedial exams. There should not be loss of the student, and some reforms as per the internal examination the college used to organize regularly. Again, online examination has been conducted on Microsoft Teams app during the COVID situation. And college acted as a cluster head college for the 18 nearby colleges. The college conducted their examination, paper setting, all the parameters university has given the job, and with a successful manner we have conducted. College has also DCAP, District Assessment Center, and College Assessment Center every year. So the assessment approaches, that is formative and summative, again in the college level, university level, and for again the any advancement in the assessment, college used to organize on behalf of our parent university the workshop, district level workshop. About the result, the college result, this is our college result, green line, and this is university result. So this is a sample case I have taken. Always the college result is well ahead as compared to the university result. And these are the number of meritorious students, first, second, third, gold medalist, silver medalist, bronze medalist, and total 37 students during last 5 years awarded with medals. And the average percentage of students' progression in higher education during the last 5 years is at response 64.52. And here I must have to mention that this is the Rude Sachin Tukaram, BSc, that is the BSc student. He secured 96.2% of marks at his BSc level. That is the historical. During the establishment of the university, no one student has received such high marks. Coming towards the research and development, always college promote all the parameters of the research and development. There is a channel for this research and development. These are the 5 research laboratories. No doubt, these 4 research laboratories, physics, microbiology, mathematics, chemistry, they are the recognized from our university. In astrophysics laboratory, we have developed here, particularly for the INSPIRE faculty of R&D. Several MOUs and collaborative activities are carried under research and development. These are the different parameters to enhance the research and development, to develop scientific temperament, research culture, and aptitude among staff and students is always with a priority. Several sophisticated instrumentation are available to carry the research, and in library also, enlist a number of online journals using enlist telnet facility, and particularly about the research funding. College has received for the faculties about 2 crore, more than 2 crore grant from different funding agencies, BSP, SCRB, ISRO, UGC. These are the completed projects. These are some of the ongoing, and one is completed here. BSP, that is SIR project, it is completed. So, of the INSPIRE faculty, then our regular faculty, and one faculty is received from our parent university, and these are the projects they are being submitted. And here again, one project has been scrutinized of our faculty by Science and Engineering Board of Department of Science and Technology. So this is he is the INSPIRE faculty, Dr. Mahadev Pandey, and he has published near about 12 papers, more than 5 impact factors during the last 5 years at our institution. The Department of Science and Technology selected our institution to work that INSPIRE faculty here. So in our university, only one faculty, INSPIRE faculty, at the college level. So these are all the numerous. Again, one of the things I must have to tell about this, the research of the day, 2 papers in physics.org on these dates, they have been recorded, having impact factor more than 5.5. So that is a big achievement of our research student. So these are various collaborative linkages, scientific institution, not only in India but also abroad, Florida, Greece, and so on. Again, these are all the collaborative institutions I have mentioned, and our faculties are the visiting faculty in the Ayuga. Again, particularly for the students, college used to provide 50,000 for innovative project, and such project have been carried by our student, and number of papers have been published by the student, or by MSc student, even by the BSc student. So special budget, particularly 50 lakh used to spend regularly for research and development. So several collaborative institutions. So all these are the active 21 MOUs during the last 5 years. So again, promote the research, several international, national level conferences, workshops, seminars being organized, and some glimpses I have shown here. Again, to promote the research, 15 days PhD course was being organized every year, and it is been organized on behalf of our university, and many such researchers participate, and they have been awarded the certificate by our institute and university. So again, national level science festival, one of our science festival being organized during 2018-19 as with MIT World Peace University collaboration, and here it is being inaugurated by Honorable Vijay Bhatkar, our eminent scientist, and several honorable members. They are along with Shivraj Patil, Chakraborty, and so on. So mega events for school children regularly college used to organize to promote the research activities in school children also. So these are national, international level conferences in mathematics, physics, and nearly 20-25 countries they used to participate in such international conferences. During COVID, we have organized it is online and live broadcasting of the inaugural function and all the speeches have been made. Then here, not only the organization or faculty members, they used to go to the different conferences, seminars, they present their papers, not only in India but in abroad. So in abroad, such countries visited, presented, and acted as a keynote speaker. Not only faculties but students, they are actively involved, and many of the students received many awards in the international national conferences as the best paper presentation. And here one student, Vidi Kalsapure, she went to Malaysia and on behalf of our nation, she participated there, and 138 different participants from different countries, and that is being organized by World Health Organization. She received an outstanding participant delegate award there for her research presentation like that. Not only the research papers, our student published several books. BSc student particularly. Again, BSc student goes for the inauguration of scientific programs, exhibition. They are being called like that. So she is one of our research students, Ashwarya Andare. Numerous achievement here.
Characteristics of being. Actually, I'm BSc second year student from studying in life science from the Anand Science College, Latur, Maharashtra, India. Actually, throughout the year, several research competitions were taking place in our university, and through that, I got the idea to work on the pathnia because it's a massive field which is having several losses throughout the world in the field of agriculture. So I selected this topic to work for, and I got the first prize for that competition. And simultaneously, I prepared the paper and sent to the conference after getting information regarding the conference. And luckily, I was selected for the oral presentation. And here, presenting here with all these such a great personalities is a great luck for me. This is the second part I'm presenting here, but sitting all you, great personality.
So, again, about the research, contextual research projects solving local problems, we have the MPCB's Debate and Quality Monitoring Station for the Latur City, Maharashtra Pollution Control Board of Maharashtra, and we are running this project during last 2008. And 3 stations have been established in the different regions of the Latur. One is on the roof of our institutes, another in industrial area, and another is in crowd area. And our students particularly, they participate. They have given that particular work to collect the sample, analyze, and prepare the report of the pollution content in the air available. And that has been submitted to the Maharashtra Pollution Control Board, and accordingly the Maharashtra MPCB advice to the local municipal corporation to minimize the pollution. So this has been running during the last 12 years to our institution, and it has been run by our faculty member in the industrial department. I am acting as a coordinator for look after all the, and these are the outcomes. So that is the local problem solving project we have. So infrastructure facility, the institution has adequate infrastructure and physical facilities for teaching, learning, namely classroom, laboratories, computing, equipment, sports, auditorium, hostels, and etc. So these are the different components of our infrastructure. the institution has developed adequate facilities for cultural activities, sports, games, outdoor gymnasium, yoga, and etc. So about the library, it is fully automated with all the necessary softwares. So these are the available journals, e-journals, digital library with computers. 25 computers are there for reading or downloading, and separate reference, and all these facilities are available. These are the library services provided to our student faculties, and these are the particularly the college used to invest to purchase new books and so on, and it has been allocated in the budget as well. Regarding the IT infrastructure facility, the college is well equipped with all the necessary IT equipment facilities, 30 computers, and the student computer ratio is 1:8. Network facility, Wi-Fi, the LCD projector about 20, and 100 Mbps in-touch leased line, and in all the department in classroom, separate leased line is taken 20 Mbps for the office. Along with that, BSNL broadband 100 Mbps in classroom, office, library. This is the alternative, but they are simultaneously. In institution frequently updates its IT facilities including Wi-Fi. Institution has also established a well system of procedure for maintaining and utilizing all the physical, academic, and support facilities. Different AMCs are there, and a separate budget has been for the annual maintenance contract for a different part. And here the budget which is spent during every financial year. Regarding the student support system, student has different components. Here I have mentioned for supporting the physical facilities, particularly merit prizes award have been given, and that merit prizes here all it is being deposited in the institute, and again there the participation of the faculties. Some faculties 10,000, 15,000 they have deposited, and about 1,72,000 total amount is there. The interest generated of that amount they has been distributed as a prize for the meritorious student at the college level. And for the meritorious student at the university level, institute provides separate fund, 10,000 for first, 7,000 for second, and 5,000 for third. Not only for the academic, for the culture, for the sport, every achiever. Again, here different associations are there. So participation of the student in different association, not only academic but also in administrative. And by the different association, different programs have been run. And here some of the programs I have. And the student achievement, the prizes are given. Again, the participation of the student via the association, via the annual magazine Unmesh, there, and accordingly their views, their ideas, their suggestions, they are always taken. And that career katta, this is again there is a participation. The college received an award from the government of Maharashtra Higher and Technical Education Department. This is the recent award. It has been not mentioned in the SSR. And one of the faculty, Dr. Gomare, she is acting as a district coordinator. So particularly for UPSC, MPSC examination, that career katta used to manage several programs for the student. So these are some of the activities. Release of scientific calendar. For this also, college received a national level award. Student council, different participation of the student, different programs, gathering. Then women's empowerment workshop by Youth Kalyan, that student association, women's rights and values, health and sexual harassment, farewell. Marathwada Region Mathematical Association, that is collaborative activity, is carried regularly to that MMA used to organize several competitions, and our college organizes such competitions regularly and host that also. She's our another student, Vidhi Parsapure, and she represented National Youth Parliament Delhi, as already told, Malaysia, and several again co-curricular. She is a gold medalist also, very good student, and she is the Inspire faculty. She qualified student. Previously, the Aishwarya Andare also Inspire, she qualified student, and they by later on I shall come there. So these are the number of achievements and here.
छात्र नेताओं की ओर से मैं आमंत्रित कर रहा हूं सुश्री विधि सुभाष पलासपुरे को, जो एमएससी माइक्रोबायोलॉजी दयानंद साइंस कॉलेज से कर रही हैं और आईआईटी बॉम्बे से रिसर्च कर रही हैं। लातूर महाराष्ट्र से जोरदार तालियों के बीच विधि सुभाष पलासपुरे।
People in the world are so hungry that God cannot appear to them except in the form of bread. These words of Mahatma Gandhi make us deeply ruminate about the times when we fight ourselves without any food. Warm greetings to honorable dignitaries on the dais and the young leaders before me. This is Ms. Vidhi Subhash Parsapure, here to fill my vision towards the topic and express my strong affirmation that yes, young India can rise to zero hunger and zero poverty by 2030. But before moving ahead,
Close our bond between faculty, student, and their families to send the SMS regarding the score marks in the internal examination and so on. Our students have been placed. Support system is there. So every teacher has allocated nearly about 20-25 and under prevention development and so on. Student parent meeting also regularly organized. Study tour by every department as far as the curriculum have the extra part is concerned is regularly organized. Coming towards the sport facilities, number of sport facilities in the campus, and these are the organized event by our institution at the district level event, again university level, state level, again not only state but also national level event being organized by our institute on behalf of the parent university and different association clubs of the local region. And this is one of the region badminton tournaments here. 5 state players they participated for this tournament. So these are the glimpses again the organized event, interzone, intercollegiate. These are some achievements of the sport as far as the national achievement. Second prize being the second university softball main tournament. Again, he has also won Rahul and Lambre, Prasannaji. So again, 7 individual medals received by awarded by our students in the individual event, and nearly 22 medals during the last 5 years in the group event in different sports competitions. Again, the sport department run a value course of 10 days, yoga training program, again karate training program being organized by our sport department for the girls students. Then these are about the youth festival or 17 medals during the last 5 years. So the medals they are enhancing year by year. And it is the activity run by our university. Then the NCC under 53 battalion, 53 cadets are enrolled there, and BSc, BCS candidates are there. And these are some achievements of our NCC. And they used to select the regional camps, state level camps, national level camps also. And whatever the event organized there, maybe sport event, our student also won prizes, gold medal, bronze medal, there in Kerala also. This is one of our student participated in Bhukte in RDC parade, and along with our Honorable Prime Minister, he is there. RDC parade, he has been selected. Regarding, because NCC cadets not only participate in the social or different activities, but they used to join the defense services. So some of our students have mentioned. Some of the students they also shortlisted, but due to their families, why to go again moral, so they didn't join. Regarding the NCC, NSS, regular programs, then camp organized. In COVID situation, there was no organization at the time for that year. And again, the NCC, NSS participant volunteers selected for one camp and at the university and state levels regularly. Extension activities are carried out in the neighborhood communities, sensitizing students to social issues for their holistic development and impact thereof during the last 5 years I have mentioned. Similarly, this in the COVID situation, this is the special activity done by our volunteers, NSS volunteers. They visited near about 188 secondary school, and they have dialogues with the students, parents of that neighborhood institution, school institution. And what about the teaching process, online teaching process, COVID problem, vaccination, and they guided for all the teachers, students, that activity, that report has been submitted to the Honorable Education Minister also. And accordingly, the Honorable Education Minister taken that cognizance. In some villages, some facilities being available now. This is about the scholarship, the average percentage of students beneficiary for the different scholarships of the state and central government. And here, in addition to that, Inspire-She scholarship here of our student I have mentioned. And these are the percentage of student qualified to receive the scholarship. Coming towards the governance, leadership and management, institute is effective leadership in various institutional practices such as decentralization and participative management. The institution strategies, perspective plans is effectively deployed. The functioning of the institutional bodies is always effective in making policies, administrative steps, appointments, services, rules and procedure, etc. The institution has effective welfare measures for teaching and non-teaching staff. Institution has performance appraisal system for teaching and non-teaching staff. Institution conducts internal and external academic audits and financial audit regularly. Institution also mobilizes fund and the use of that fund, the optimal utilization for the resources. Institution IQAC has always contributed significantly for institutionalizing the quality assurance strategy. And regarding the process, for the third cycle NAAC reaccreditation process, our institution has generated a high incremental improvement from the preceding 5 years with regards to quality and post-accreditation quality initiative. The institution has also initiated a number of measures for the promotion of gender equality during the last 5 years. So this is the structuring of our administration, governing council and principal, vice principal, like that. CDC is there. And our leader, just we met our president, our secretary, he is also running 8 academic institutes in the region. Our president, he is an industrialist and visionary leader. And these are the participative management for teaching, non-teaching staff. External representatives are there, parents representatives, and again prospective plans there. And the academic and administration, the overall growth, it has been managed by the management in the different meetings. Empowerment, financial and welfare initiatives are taken, well-defined HR and research policies. And The IQAC, it has been established 2006 and 17 members are there, and as per the guidelines of the IQAC NAAC, it is functioning. Then again, academic and administrative committees are different, sales are there, committees are there, and this is the structuring of the IQAC. And grooming leadership at various levels. It is always being adopted by our institution. Our members of BOS, faculties at the university, then admission charge, several parameters, then in CDC and so on. These are the peer team suggestions in the second cycle. All the suggestions being implemented by our institution. Faculty, this is by our management and the college. Different several empowerment and strategic policies have been adopted to empower our staff, not only the teaching but also the non-teaching staff also. So several such measures have been adopted. This is self-appraisal or faculty teaching, also for non-teaching staff. Financial management and particularly the resources. This is the college has received more than 8 crore grant during the last 5 years from different financial institutions, UGC, USA, then DST, and so on. And here, this is the contribution of our management. 1 crore 44 lakhs, more than that, nearly about 1 crore 45 lakhs. And this year, management added 75 lakhs. So if we consider this year also, so it is more than 2.25 crore. So this is the estimated average spending on per student. So with salary, nearly about 50,000, and without salary, nearly about 1,500. So these are the innovative welfare practices we carried for the teaching and non-teaching staff regularly. So birth and death anniversary celebration regularly we follow. Different awareness programs for non-teaching staff, or non-teaching staff being trained by the Department of Computer Science by 6 days, 7 days training program, and technologically the non-teaching staff must be enhanced. Again, financial literacy program in collaboration with the Securities and Exchange Board of India, SEBI. This is about the alumni association. So registered alumni association is there, and our alumnus are spread all over the world. So number of alumnus, they are working in different parts of the world, and they are contributing not only for the nation but also for the development. So this is some time we conduct alumni association meetings. Again, alumni association, these are the number of their activities carried, and alumni association portfolio. And one is this scooter has been donated to our handicapped staff by the alumni association. The alumni meetings are there. He is our eminent scientist, chief scientist, Dr. N.K. of NCL, and different they are doing in different research laboratories in several institutions they are working. Coming towards now the best practices, this is a very important component, and particularly these best practices which we have mentioned, two best practices in the SSR. The first, Science for Vision, Inspiration and Prosperity. It is abbreviated SVIP. Under this, number of 4 programs we run, particularly for school children. This is 7 days, not 3 days, 7 days camp for school children in collaboration with NAAC, Maharashtra State Secondary Education and Science. Vigyan Manch camp for the school. So to catch the school children at the early stage, particularly for 8 to 9 students, selected 70 students from urban and rural area. College used to organize such Vigyan Manch camp for those students. Different field mentors, they used to come during the 7 days and they mentors regarding the different scientific methodologies and the different scientific aspects, so that they can choose science as their career in future and contribute for the development of the nation. So this activity has been done regularly since from its inception, 1978, like that. Again, the second activity, DST's Inspired Science Camp for 11th scholar students. Particularly the students, those admitted for 11th science and having topper at the 1% of their SSC board examination. And this is the scheme run by the Department of Science and Technology. Again, those scholar students, they should be catched. Instead of going for the professional courses, they must go for career, choose their career as a science, and they must become as a scientist and contribute for the development of mission. So these are such several camps we have organized. Then the third parameter is Indian Academy of Sciences lecture workshop for UG and PG students. This is the activity we adopted for fast learner, not only for our student but the neighborhood colleges student. For different colleges they used to participate for UG and PG student, and different mentors from different scientific institutions. They called for the mentoring. Similarly, the refresher course. This is also regularly being organized every year. Due to the COVID situation, this year we can't organize offline because all these are offline activities. So, refresher courses, Indian Academy of Sciences, and nationwide teachers, some of the scholar students, they are also participated. And this activity particularly benefited to the teacher for the CAS promotion, career advancement. And it is similar to the refresher courses organized by the academic staff colleges. So this is the Vigyan Manch princess. So these are number of Inspired Science camps organized. And here particularly I must have to mention, he is our ex-principal. He is nearly about 80 years old. And during last 10 to 11 years, then I became a principal and I contacted him. He is a thorough gentleman, and accordingly he is one of our stakeholders. He acted as a coordinator to organize all these 17 Inspired Science camps. He acted as a coordinator for the lecture workshop. He acted as a coordinator to organize refresher courses. So all such innovative activities he contributed along with all our faculty members. So his contribution is really focus. And here these are the number of camps organized during the last 5 years. Benefited students, total benefited during the last 10 years, 3,800. And here a number of mentors. This is a 6 days activity. Started from 8 o'clock to evening 8 o'clock in the night. And here directors of scientific, different directors of scientific institution, then Inspired Team Chief, Dr. Mukhopadhyay, he was the Inspired Chief in those years, and he also visited and mentored here for students. There are different scientists from Department of Science and Technology, Indian Academy of Sciences, then NCL, Padma Shri Awardee, ex-group leader, Mangalan VM ISRO. He visited and acted as a Bhatnagar Awardee, chief scientist of different institutions, Indian Academy of Sciences Fellows, National Academy of Sciences Fellows, and senior professors. During those here I have shown some of the pictures. Even our vice chancellors, they used to come to inaugurate, and they used to motivate our students, participating students. They are not participating students, they are from the neighborhood region. Those who score toppers of 1% at their SSC examination. And this is for our college. So by conducting such camps, so the several students, they motivated and they opted BSc instead of going for engineering and medical, and nearly about 78 students they qualified and they admitted in our institute during last 10 years, and they were eligible to receive Inspire Sheet scholarship of 80,000 per year starting from BSc first year to MSc. And after completing MSc also, some of our students, they received a fellowship of about 25 lakhs, for doing their PhD from Department of Science and Technology.
2 years back, I was invited by Principal there to give a talk at Dayanand Latur College on space technology, and I was extremely happy to interact with the students there who were very curious and asked me some intelligent questions. At that time, I had not
आणि आपण काय करतो स्टँडर्ड डिझाईन कुठेतरी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक करत असतो आपलं स्वतःचं इनोव्हेशन नसतं आणि ज्या ज्या देशाने केलेली आहे त्या त्या देशामध्ये बेसिक रिसर्चला इतकं महत्त्व दिलेलं आहे कारण त्या बेसिक रिसर्चच्या आधारेच पुढची टेक्नॉलॉजी होते engineer is second to you.
Here, friends, it sounds like somebody in 15th year when we count the time. Organized as a series in nutrition, that is, I have paid. I supervise 50, 48 PhD students and completed more than 500 research papers. And principal told that he wanted to have a person, a scientist for evaluation. And principal, there was made a phone call. At that time, just mentioned that I was at the airport of the Bombay. I just landed from the train because I was there for 2 weeks in the train. Since then,
it's in both ways because in some ways science is important for us, and in some ways science is harmful for human beings. So I think it is depend upon the respective use of science by human beings.
They liken the science to be as a knife. If it is in the hand of criminal, it will kill the world. If it is in the hand of surgeon, it will definitely cure. That is, a science heals in detail and kills in wholesale. So, in Marathi,
here regularly the science inspired camps it has been published in the regular newspaper to know the society also. What type of such activities in the future depends on science and technology and so on. So here all the inspired components, basically there are 4 components of the inspired scheme. So all it has been covered by our institution. Lecture workshop, as I mentioned, Indian Academy of Sciences, Bangalore again here acted. So all the lecture workshop, 6 lecture workshop and refresher courses, 4 refresher courses organized. Here again the mentors, they are being invited from different institutions.
I am Dr. Rao, formerly a senior scientist in the director's grade at NBRI and CMAP, both coming under CSIR. I was also the CSIR emeritus scientist, and lately I was the INSA scientist. Currently, being a fellow of all the science academies in the country, one of my responsibilities is to go around to different colleges and universities in the country to deliver lectures and also conduct refresher courses for teachers. Under one of these programs, I was lucky to visit the Dayanand College at Latur, and I was immensely pleased to visit this college and conduct the lecture workshop.
We are going to late.
So such as second activity, the awards for the meritorious students. So number of awards, financial assistance by providing to the meritorious, not only earn and learn scheme is there. So this is the cash prize, and this is the earn and learn scheme prize. Felicitation of the students. So again, these are some extension activities college carried. Credit cooperative society is there. So the environmental practices for college one district, one green championship like that, and zero bill for the energy. Then renewable this is the last shown is enhanced the use of so all the here facilities available to protect our environment, water harvesting and conservation and so on. So again, disposal of cleaning system, well planning like that. In COVID-19, rapid antigen test and for vaccination center is provided to the municipal corporation by our institution, and nearly 55,000 more than that vaccination is done in our vaccination Dayanand Police Center. Institutional discrimination has organization of innovative, unique, scientific, inspired science camp, national preparation courses, requirements, lecture workshop. Laboratories and pattern inspiring for excellence, inspire faculty already in MPCB project, quality infrastructure, cricket ground and petrol and badminton court. These are the SOC analysis of our institute. The site has been as per the SSR. These are our future plans. So to have a separate nanoscience and nanotechnology postgraduate course, or maybe integrated program, and in collaboration with the DSP we are planning for our student. Our proposal already to start PG course in industrial chemistry was submitted to our university to establish research laboratories in such a branch of life and PPT sciences, and skill development program again 3 or 4, and to establish one incubation center, and that must maybe along with the NITI Aayog of Charity. To get department deputy star college proposal has been submitted already. So with the few statements of ancient Chinese proverb, if you want 1 year prosperity, grow grain. If you want 10 years of prosperity, grow trees. And if you want 100 years of prosperity, grow people. So here, the motto is to develop and grow people, students, teaching, montages, staff and others. And for further quality enhancement, your valuable suggestions are highly considered. Thank you very much.
One thing I would like to ask you, not ask you, but clarify you, that you have mentioned in your lecture that during the curriculum design, you have designed curriculum in the college.
Yes.
Is it your part or is it part of the university?
This is the part of the university for value-added courses or career-oriented courses, certificate courses. College used to design the curriculum and it has been submitted to the university. For the value-added courses, the college used to provide the certificate at the institution. At the university level, our BOS members, our faculty members, they are BOS, they participated in the curriculum designing there. At the same time, college used to organize several workshops on behalf of the university.
Because the university has its own board of studies.
Yes, sir. So,
they design the curriculum.
So they
and the members, there are definite members of board of studies.
Yes. So in the board of studies, our faculty members are of different subjects.
How college is involved in designing the curriculum activities?
To make suggestion, you can propose, make some proposal.
His contention is In the university BOAs, your faculty is not there.
Yes, they are representing and they are making suggestion.
Board of Suggestion, Board of Suggestion.
If there are 6 members, 10 members, our physics faculty is there, our zoology faculty is there, one botany faculty is there, and they contribute in designing the curriculum.
Board of Studies.
Yes, so that structure I have shown. So it is the part of the university, but our faculty used to represent.
Means they are designing the curriculum at university level,
University.
not at college level.
For value-added courses, the college is designing. 28 value-added courses
You
we
have
have.
mentioned the value-added programs, activities, but you have not mentioned that how many value-added courses are running by the university, by the college.
28 value-added courses.
Value-added courses.
Yes.
The last thing which I would like to clarify that you have mentioned that there is collaboration with Maharashtra Pollution Control Board and you are analyzing the ambient air pollutants. Does the college have the facility for sampling and analysis of PM 2.5?
Yes, 3 stations have been established with the machineries. In the roof of our college, one station is there. Then in industrial area, another station is there. In crowded area, there is
In those stations, there must be high volume samplers.
Yes. Pardon, sir?
High volume sampler, air samplers.
Sampler, yes,
Do
sampler
you
is
have
there.
air samplers?
Yes.
High volume, sir.
High volume sampler.
High value sample. So that
PM
more,
2.5.
yes, that is available. So again, our industrial chemistry faculty, he knows all the different configuration of that system. I will tell him to explain about it.
Okay, in the last, what is your vision? What is the college vision for say 10 years, future 10 years?
Yes, particularly to go for the academy. This is one of the vision. And to add some technological courses. And particularly nanoscience and nanotechnology, that is one of the basic course. And it will be run by the Department of Science because I approached to DST regarding that. DST has prepared some prospective plans for nanoscience and nanotechnology. Under that, we shall do that. In collaboration with, again, the abroad institution. We particularly visit in abroad institution, some of the institution we have communication, and that particularly that basic. That facility college institute has 1 acre separate land, and for that one separate building will be constructed. Later on, skill development programs, communication, mobile communication technology, software development, and then animation and multimedia, such type of programs for the students.
Okay, thank you.
Some
Thank you.
research centers.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have some small queries. In your presentation, training and placement cell, there was nothing mentioned about the training and placement.
Yes,
It was not mentioned.
there is in a slide training and placement cell, and Dr. Moonwara, he is a nodal coordinator for that. And nearly about 51 placement we have in the last 5 years. Particularly what happens, because it is our minor weakness.
So in the SSR also, it is I think not mentioned about this.
We have
training and
opted.
placement.
We have opted.
So whatever it is. Then about this medical facilities. I think in SSR I could not find about the medical facilities. You mentioned.
Yes, medical facilities are available in the ladies hostel.
No, I'm just talking about the SSR. What I am going through.
Yes, please.
Then about your biomedical waste disposal. That is not there in your SSR.
So,
It is clearly written there in the SSR, not required or something like that.
as it is not generated.
But in microbiology lab, it has to be.
Yes, particularly the waste from the.
Well, once you have a microbiology lab, it has to. Anyway, you just have this kind of things. When you will see that, then your transportation facility, nothing is mentioned in the SSR. And that. Then about whether you have a student election cell, students election.
Yes.
That is also you cannot find in the SSR.
Student election is as per the university guidelines. This
Actually, in the guidelines, in the committee guidelines, it has to be followed about that. That is there. Then about the GB meeting, how frequently the GB meeting held? How frequently the IQSC meetings are held? Though in here it is mentioned quarterly, it is held. But SSR I could not find that. About that. Then what sir has said about the 28 value-added courses? What are these courses?
These
Actually,
are
also I could not find those courses.
these are the courses.
Yes. Then in the SSR you have mentioned about the strategic plans implementation. So what you have taken. So what kind of strategic plan IQC have taken and how it is implemented. Then you had mentioned about the UG biotechnology and second division chemistry.
Yes.
What is that? I could not understand that.
Second division particularly, as there is a numerous students that are coming from different parts of the state. So university sanctions one division of 30 intake capacity. We applied for the second division again of 30.
For
Additional.
So that is increase in strength actually. The second division actually I could not get it what it second division is.
First division intake capacity 30, second division
Increase in the second division.
So it has given as a second division.
Then in the SSR, drug analysis, it was mentioned that you do a drug analysis.
Drug analysis COC course.
It has been done. So whether you have been licensed to do this drug analysis?
That particularly that COC course, career oriented course under UGC COC scheme.
Because drugs and everything that will come under the medical director of medical education, something like that.
That certificate course has been run by the Department of Chemistry.
Then collaboration with other institutes. We have 18 or something, 18 or 21 this
No, 21 active.
Active one. So with whom we have the collaborations?
So, okay. 49 is collaboration activities another part, the MOU is another part.
And about this ragging, anti-ragging, in the helpline numbers, with the mobile numbers of the committee members, whether it is properly, because I could not see anywhere, it is been displayed.
It is displayed
while entering.
Okay. It is displayed in front of our notice board, in front at the counter. It has been displayed. ICC.
Yes. And your website, whether it is properly updated or not. College website.
It is updated.
Yes.
Ladies, is there any separate ladies?
Yes.
Yes.
ICC.
So this much actually
something such that we clarify from the office side also and further move. See, when it comes to the programs of concern, we have two usual programs and we have a flexibility system. And whether though the student has an option to choose the program, do you have any kind of a combination, something like that?
Yes, that combination I have mentioned.
Okay.
For example, physics, chemistry, mathematics.
PCM. PCM, CBZ, CBZ.
Again, in the physical sciences, there can be a combination.
So, whether the intake is given by the university for all put together is 800 or is there any separation for each and every
No, particularly university grants, our state government granted for one division 120 students for the BSc first year.
Okay.
For second division 100 students. For 120 students, you can have the choice at the college level. Some of the students they can go for the PCA group, some of the students they can go for the PCB group. Again, internal flexibility also there.
So once the student has chosen, he has to continue for all the 3 years the
All
same.
the 3 years.
Right. So then the number of programs will be more, right? Say for
So
example,
that is
out of 800, some 100 students might have chosen PCM, another 100 CBZ, another 100 chemistry, physics, biotechnology. Like that, there are various branches of
Very competition.
competition.
Yeah.
Nearly about
That would be the case, the number of programs will be some around 8 to 10, I think so.
So accordingly, in the SSR, we have mentioned.
You have mentioned all put together as one group. Actually, number of programs has to be extended. Then, that gives some kind of a, the volatility for the students in order to choose the best combination. See, for example, you have 10 subjects. I am a parent or maybe a student, I am not well versed with choosing the right combination of the subjects. So, if there is a possibility, I can choose it, or otherwise, I can choose on my own. So, maybe a number of program options could have been given. Maybe in the later stage.
Yes.
That is one option. And for example, last year your intake is, total strength is 15 student strength. How much? 1516. So this is the total intake.
Yes.
And in that intake, approximately 50% would be the reservation.
Yes.
So whether the reservation system is followed?
Yes, 100% it is followed from the beginning of the admission process.
Okay.
And those students, they are not available in the reservation.
Okay.
So in a regular fashion, as per the state government guidelines, for example, SC student is not available, it goes to ST. ST is not available, it goes to OBC, like that.
Fine.
So that
in the SSR,
and then finally go to the open.
In the SSR, it is mentioned that, for example, if you take 2021, there are about 1,516 seats are there, but only 308 seats are reserved for categories.
So that's why particularly 308.
308.
So in that again the same, the students, particularly ST student, SC student, they doesn't come for the BSc or BSc course. So the vacant seat again, by using that formula, goes to the open.
Whether the student comes for the BSc course under category or not, it is our bound duty to reserve the seats. If the students have not come, automatically it will be converted, except SC/ST.
So same happened. Same happened.
Actually, what he is saying, that before making the admission, you have to make it clear that how much for the open, how much is reserved. If the students is not coming to the reserve category, automatically your open category students number increases. But here,
the same procedure has been followed. First merit list, second merit list, third merit list, and it has been communicated. And again in the spot admission. So students of SC/ST categories they are called, but the student don't come for it. So whatever available, and we have to finish up the admission process. The deadline is there.
During the last day, without
actually this is admitted students.
Number of students.
that is usually done.
After
Without raising the seat,
pass
somebody
percentages.
is studying.
So we must have to fill it.
When it comes to pass percentages, during last 2 years, it's good. I think 90-95% is there. Prior to 2018-19, it is almost 50%. I don't understand. For example, 2018-19, when it comes to 5-year students under 2.632, 421 students are appeared. Only 211 students were passed. That is 50%.
Finally,
This comes under page number 40. And in the year 2017-18, 417, 227 is passed. 249, 164 passed. But in your PPT is almost everything, in almost all the years it is above 90-85%.
that's compared to the, that is 2021 I have shown.
Yeah.
2020-21, that's sample mix.
And you have received the grant of 2 crore under RUSA. the year 2018-19. But in year 2018-19, when it comes to the grants received, it is mentioned is only 17 lakhs.
Installment. No, that first installment.
Out of 2 crore, what is that?
That grant has been sanctioned.
Okay.
But the installment has not received. Later on it has been received.
You mentioned only the grant received.
Okay. As of now, the grant is received.
1 crore grant in the about 95%, more than 1 crore. It has been utilized.
It is utilized.
3 lakhs, 2 lakhs component is remaining. And we have again applied for the next 50 lakhs.
Because either 2018-19, 19-20, 20-21, all put together may not cross 60 lakhs. If it is 1 crore grant is received and utilized, I think grant that comes under 3.1.1. Grant received is 17 plus 27 plus 24, that comes to around some 60 lakhs. So please clarify that. We will go by way. We are running short of time.
So I think we can move on to the session 2.
Yeah, session 2.
So session 2, it has been divided amongst us. Sir, Professor Suresh will be visiting Department of Microbiology, Department of Mathematics, Department of Botany and Department of Physics and Electronics. And both of us, the remaining 5.
As discussed yesterday.
Yes.
This office is discussed.
Yes.
Department of Microbiology, Department of Mathematics, Department of Botany and Department of Physics and Electronics. Sir and Professor Suresh will visit the remaining 5. Microbiology, mathematics, botany, and number 5, Department of Physics and Electronics.
Yes.
Then after that, after 11:30 also, that continues.
Yes, continuous is next one, session 4, visit to the laboratories. Myself and Dr. Alexander will be visiting that, and meetings and interactions.
Yes. No.
Chairman, sir?
Before lunch.
Before lunch.
Yes.
So all meetings and interactions.
So please schedule first that we can keep time.
What principal join principal join
Yes, you can. One team can be headed, coordinated by NAAC coordinator. Another one team, anyone else. You can join us.
Okay, thank you.